Hello, welcome to another Touchy Gooners podcast. My name's Lewis. I'm joined on this very gloomy day. It's been horrible. It's wet and cold outside. Sean, you've got a scarf on.
No,
How you doing, man?
just dressing gown, bro. But I'm
Sorry.
good, man.
Oh, I see the Ralph Lauren. I see the Ralph Lauren.
yeah, nice.
At least someone's living good. Dan, how you doing, man? German Dan.
Bro, I ain't too bad, man. I ain't too bad. Listen, we have to fight it out, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Boy, I think tonight is just going to be like a massive kind of venting session. I know you guys did like the Twitter space. Did you do the Twitter spaces after the game?
Yeah, it was after the game.
Yeah. What was the main? Because I wasn't involved in the Twitter spaces. What was the general consensus from people after the game against Everton?
I mean, I think there was a lot of good thoughts and sort of considerations on the spaces, but as you can imagine, after that game, yeah, the heads were scrambled. Like the heads were hot. Like I can't lie, my head was hot. Shabs was on
my head was hot. I was shouting at everyone for random things, bro. I don't think I've been in the group since the Murray Gray squad. I ain't been in the group, bro. I disappeared.
No, it's actually true. I ain't seen you too tough, bro.
Every time I see a new message in the Touchy Gooners group, I just like turn it off, man. I'm like, fuck this shit.
But yeah, I think the heads were hot. Cooks' head was in the sky, bro. Mum was up there on the moon, bro, looking for ways to go onto Mars, bro. Yeah, I mean, we had Marvin Abbey join as well. He was ranting, bro. We had a few other few of the listeners joining as well. They were ranting as well. I think in general people made some good things, but said some good things. But you know, when it's just right after the game, it's just hella emotion. You haven't really thought about everything and put it all together. But I've had a few days to think about it now, bro. So
that's good. Sean, what about yourself? Have you had a good few days to finally settle down and think about things in a rational manner, or is it still very much fresh? And
you know what one thing I even said, I said it to my friend the other day, like I need to try, obviously when I go to the games it's different, but I need to try not commenting on games while I'm watching it, just because, you know, like Dan said, you do tend to just be run by emotion, and you know, sometimes you look back and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like, obviously, that's how you're feeling in the heat of the moment. But sometimes, you know, when you're just vexed, you can't get out, you know, good rational thoughts. So I'm gonna try and just hold back sometimes, because, you know, I might say stuff that isn't really what I want to say at the time. But obviously, I'm clouded by the emotional judgment at the time. But yeah, man, my week's been ruined. Honestly, I hate playing on a Monday. I just knew, like, if we didn't win that game, it was going to be awful. And I've had early starts at work all of this week. I've been in the office constantly, and I've got another early start again tomorrow morning. So I'm just not like, so it's just made me miserable.
You're not in the mood, Sean. You're not in the mood.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood, bro. I've been in meetings, and I'm just thinking, and you know that tweet where it's like, British men wake up and the first thing they think about is Arteta. That's been me all week, bro. That's just been me all. My head has just literally been in the sky, man. So I've just been upset, man. I feel like I'm sure we'll get into it, but yeah, I'm just I'm tired of what I'm seeing, man. Yeah, very, very tired, man. So
see, it's a difficult thing to grasp for me, because, you know, just I would say pre the Liverpool game, I was feeling quite, I don't want to say like upbeat, but I was feeling upbeat about this Arsenal team. I was quite, you know, I not to say we're the best team in the world or we were going to do anything ridiculous. I just felt like we were stabilizing results. You know, we were having a few promising performances. Obviously, we had just beat Leicester. We beat Villa. We had beat Spurs. We had some good performances in there, like performances that were getting better offensively as well. We looked solid defensively. And, you know, we saw the games coming, and we thought, well, do you know what? These games are going to be the games that show us what we're really going to do this season. And, you know, 2 tough trips up north, you know, Man United, me personally, I never expect to go to Old Trafford and win. You know, that's never, no matter how bad Man United are, You know, I just never expect to go there and win. And that was the same even when we were good. You know, even under the days of Wenger, I would never expect to go to Old Trafford and win. So to lose there, of course, I hate losing to those mugs, but it wasn't like, and obviously the fashion of the loss was like really frustrating, and but I can get over it. I've experienced it before. You know, it's something that I'm used to. I could say I'm used to losing to Everton as well, actually, but you know, it's just that it just seems like we've taken a few steps forward and now we've just been yanked back, you know, and I'm really struggling to, you know, I've gone back to that thing of like, I don't even want to fucking talk about Arsenal anymore. You know, like literally, when Dan Coog said he couldn't do the pod tonight, I was thinking, fuck's sake, that means I've got to do it. You know what I mean? Like someone's got to host. And, you know, it's, do you think it's being a bit irrational, you know, after 2 defeats to be like, to go back to, you know, where we was of being really dull and negative about things after having, say, what was it, a 10-game unbeaten run? Are we overreacting a bit, or, you know, it's difficult. I'm struggling myself.
Yeah, I can give you my perspective a bit, because I think a few weeks back, or was it 2-3 weeks ago, people said, listen, you guys are too negative on the pod, you know, because I felt, or a lot of us felt, that these type of results are only around the corner. And we've sort of seen this by watching the games, saying we're winning games by very, very fine margins. Granted, we're actually winning games compared to this time last year, but it's very fine margins. The things that we'd like to see in a football team, we're still not seeing them consistently. We're just seeing very little moments of that, and we can't quite say what the level of this team is. And until I'm assured of that, I can't be too hopeful. So there was always that sort of like holding back. And once when the United game came around, that was a game where I know what you said about the context and I don't expect to win, and etc. etc. But for me, I didn't look at it like we have to win, but we have to leave with something. I felt like United, and that's the worst place they've been in the last 2 years, probably. Like, they've just sacked Ollie. They've been on the bad run in the league, bad home form as well. They've not been good at Old Trafford, struggling at Old Trafford, conceding a lot of goals. And then there comes Arsenal. We're not scoring a lot of goals, but we're fairly solid. And I was thinking, listen, we need to get a draw. 1-1 draw, something like that. I'm cool with that. Move on. Liverpool, I didn't believe in all that free hit stuff. We're talking about free hits. This is Arsenal. There are no free hits. Every game counts. We have to compete in every game. We play once a week. Every game is a fucking cup final. Like, I don't want to hear about free hits. Like, it's that's not on the agenda. Sketch off the agenda. So that was already very disappointing to me. But United, I said, okay, the levels between us and them currently are not vast. There's not a big difference. And the game was defined by small margins. You know, we lost 3-2 by small margins. And Everton again. Then going into the Everton game, so having the disappointment of United, having the disappointment of Liverpool, all that kind of sort of conversation about these games. When we taking L's, people dunking on us, and to now go away to Goodison, where I can't lie, we've been away to Goodison a lot of times. Slap these man. I've seen Arsenal slap Everton numerous times. Like, not even like little slappings, like scoring 5-6 goals. So that's not a ground that I fear. And they are in horrendous form. They're probably, before they played us, they were probably the team in the worst form in the league. Probably. If I really think, maybe Newcastle is another team, but they were in seriously horrendous form. And to then think that we're going to that ground, can't put a foothold in that game in the first 20 minutes, can't create chances, getting outrun, getting outperformed. They scored 2 offside goals and still won. I saw a stat saying this is the first time in VAR history that 2 goals have been chalked off, and the team that the goals were chalked off against still lost. Like, we should have held a 4-piece, to be honest. I mean, I know what people say. Okay, it was offside. That's the rule. That's the game. If it's offside, it's ruled off. These are the fine margins. And yeah, the second one was a bit clearer offside than the first one. But listen, if people scoring goals against you, offside or not, it's peak. Like it's peak, and it was peak. And yeah, we got completely bullied off the ball. And that performance, do you know when you look watching that game and you're like, I knew this was coming at some point, but I tried to convince myself, in order to be positive, I tried to convince myself that we're on a better trajectory and it looked like it, and etc. etc. But the underlying numbers have been telling us we are still shit. We are fucking shit. And that's how we looked on away against Goodison. And the next two games was a Southampton next and then Leeds after. It's not gonna fool me, man. Like we might
West Ham
leave with
after.
something. Yeah, see, we might leave with something in them two games. Come West Ham, boy, that bully ball is back. That bully ball is back against West Ham, man. You better strap up, man. You see the way Tobes was dressed in when he was doing this Oliver Skip video, triple layered up on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, you better put all them coats on, man. So for that game, boy. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just, you know what, you just feel like I knew this was coming, and then the slap was just so big, bro. Like the slap was right 1-0 up in that game, 1-0 up against United, and they still won. And oh, man, I can't lie, I'm glad I wasn't on the Discord, bro. They would have dumped on my head top, bro.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying about the Everton game. I think when we was watching the Everton game, Sean, I remember you saying stuff like, well, you know, I think we went 1-0 up, didn't we? And I remember you saying, well, you thought the equalizer was coming. But whilst I was watching the game, I never got that same feeling. And I know you talk about the disallowed goals, but you know, disallowed goals are disallowed because they're not valid goals, right? I thought Everton were the better side and deserved to win on the day, but I thought we were really wasteful going forward ourselves. You know, I think you look at the chances we missed. Is there not an argument to say that, you know, maybe we were a bit unlucky to get something from this game?
I can't lie, Lewis. Respectfully, I think you're clutching, man. Like I honestly, I thought it was dire. These last two games, and as Dan alluded to, you know, when people say that we're negative, it's not that we're negative for the sake of it. I don't want to be negative. I really want to be a believer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when Arteta first came, I was fully behind it. I even fully understood the rationale for, you know, going behind someone new, someone hopefully a bit progressive. But the reality of it is it hasn't turned out to be that way. Do you know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, there's only so much faith you can put on it. You've got to base it on the empirical evidence that you have in front of you. You know, in a lot of, you know, people's minds, Arteta's going to turn out to be this guy. Well, the reality of it is he's not this guy right now. Now, that's not to say that in the future he might not be, but how long do we have to wait? 2 years and 250 mil worth of expenditure has shown really it's not moved us. And, you know, you talk about the 10 game unbeaten run. I totally understand that as well. But, you know, we said the same thing when we went 22 games unbeaten under Emery. The underlying numbers didn't fool us. You could see really and truthfully what was coming. You could see what was coming, and I've not been fooled by it, and I really want to believe. But, you know, when you talk about the chances, it's not like it's not enough clear cut, man. You know, when we were under Wenger, we would be pamming, you know, severe teams we would be sustaining pressure for such long periods that you knew it was inevitable. And, you know, I heard you know, Tim Stillman on the Arsenal Vision podcast made a good point. He was like, when you win games by fine margins, you're going to lose them by fine margins because you're just playing fine margin football. You're not Arsenal are not playing like a big club. Do you know what I mean? We're not playing like a big club. We're playing percentage football. We might get ahead and then, you know, we're trying to hold on to the lead and we're trying to, that's not the vision, firstly, that Arteta sold us when he came in. Do you know what I mean? Because this is a lot of the stuff we're getting onto him now for. We got onto Emery for. In fact, the fact of the matter is that Emery got criticised a lot more for a lot less. Do you know what I mean? So it's sad, man. Like,
Do you not think we're better now than we were under Emery?
No, I don't think, bro. I don't think so. And, you know, one thing that really still sits in my mind with, you know, at least Emery was good in cup competitions. Do you know what I mean? So
Emery had a prime Oba and a prime Lacazette, I might add.
You say that, bro, but at the end of the day, like, the numbers don't lie for themselves. We scored 73 goals in the league under Emery, and we thought the football was turgid, but we still
we
created
didn't
a lot
deserve
more.
to score 73 goals, did we? We were
I don't think
pretty
we
abject.
bro. The rate we're on, we scored 18 goals in 15 games. If we score 45, 50 goals this season, it will be a massive achievement, bro. We're not doing enough. We're really not doing enough. And I think that's absolutely abhorrent. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand. The fact of the matter is that, you know, we're 2 years into your tenure, bro. You have one game a week. You have rest upon all the other teams in the league. When Jurgen Klopp came in, he had the same half a season Arteta did. The next season, Liverpool weren't in Europe. But every week, Liverpool were outrunning, outworking, outmashing their opponents, even if they didn't win. And this is what upsets me as well. Like, I can even take not winning if I can see the trajectory. Do you know what I mean? So Liverpool, even when they lost, you could be like, these guys outplayed their guys. You know, it was just poor individual errors or, you know, not enough good finishing. I'm not seeing enough in Arsenal's overall general play. Like, what I saw against Everton was worrying. That was a real like flashback to last season, you know, where it's Xhaka trying to get it, funneling it out. You know how many times we moaned about that last season before ESR came into the team? How Xhaka was trying to funnel it out to the left channel for Tierney to get. That's poor. That's so basic. Now, for someone who, you know, preaches the principles of juego de posición, like, you know, the ball moving quick, you know, getting into the half spaces, I'm just not seeing any of it. And not at a regular rate at all. And, you know, you have to question these things. Emery didn't get the money you got to spend. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I could, one thing I could probably hold my hand up is I think the squad needed a refresh anyway. Cool. So they've chosen to give you the refresh. But I need to start to be seeing tangible results in terms of performances, even if it's not results. I think the performances have been abysmal. And we were saying this, Lewis, when we were winning. We were like, this doesn't look good. This isn't sustainable. And eventually it's going to turn. And what's happened? It's turned. It's not good, man. It's not good enough. And, you know, pressure's going to ramp up.
What winning performance did you think that this wasn't sustainable? Like, what game did we win that you think we didn't deserve to win?
Bro, I mean, you could say we deserved to win some of the games. I'm not even disputing that. But it wasn't, for me, convincing. You know what? When we're talking about winning, we're talking about winning convincing. You know, like I said, we're winning games via fine margins. We're not putting teams to the sword.
On every team in the Premier League except the top three?
No, I don't think so. West Ham have won some games very, very comfortably this season, you know, and West Ham have much less resources than Arsenal do. Much. David Moyes has been in charge the same amount of time as Mikel Arteta has. And bearing in mind, you've got to remember, West Ham were battling relegation before Moyes came in. Now all of a sudden, West Ham are chilling up in the top six.
Yeah, West Ham are doing amazing. West Ham are doing amazing.
Right, and they've not got the same resources Arsenal do. They don't have the same level of talent Arsenal do. So why is he able to extract and yield more out of what he has at his disposal compared to what Arteta has at his disposal? I think it's bad. I think it's really, really bad. And I don't buy the notion, you know, some people are like, oh, when Arteta gets his own attackers in. For me, it's either you can attack or you cannot attack. When Klopp came in, Klopp was using guys like Jordan Ibe, he had Benteke, he had Emre Can, Lucas Leiva, Albert Moreno, Dejan Lovren. That team was not good. No. But in his first full season, guess what, Lewis? He took Liverpool into the top four in his first full season in charge with one game a week with those players we're talking about. So for me, Arteta doesn't have a leg to stand on. So I think it's poor. And sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I was going to say we can like quickly like go into the performances that our wins this season. Norwich 20th place. Don't think we played well. 1-0 win. We watched that game for this is fucking shit. And Norwich have been pammed this season by the other teams. Then we played Burnley, who are 18th. Played poorly again, in my opinion. We scored from an Odegaard free kick, barely created anything. People were talking about one chance in that game that Pape overhit the pass for ESR, and people were like going crazy over this one sequence, this one screenshot. It was a shit performance. Then we still
deserve to win though.
Played Watford, played shit as well. Only won 1-0. Watford have been pammed as well this season.
I think that's harsh. I think we should have won that game about 4-0. That was the Oba game, right? Where Oba missed a shitload of chances.
I think that was a game when I thought, okay, maybe the trajectory, we're creating more chances. We're creating more openings. Okay, we're creating more openings. I still don't think that was a good game, Bars.
I mean, we should have won about 4-0 if Aubameyang wasn't such a twat.
Yeah, okay, cool. But I've seen people or teams win 3-0 when they should have won 7-0. Like, I've seen Liverpool miss this amount of chance and still score 3. It's not good for me, it's not good for me. Then
I mean, it's never going to be good if we're comparing it to Liverpool, right?
Yeah,
Liverpool
I'm just talking.
But isn't that the level we're trying to aspire to, Lewis? We're Arsenal.
You
I
would
don't
hope
think
so, but we're not as good as Liverpool, are we?
No, but I'm
We're
not
saying we need
expecting
to
us
be.
to be good.
We don't have the
right now.
attackers that are as good as Liverpool. You look at
Bro,
Liverpool's attack.
Okay, but Lewis, Klopp was scoring goals with Christian Benteke there, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Was he?
Adam, the first 4 seasons, they got top 4. Salah wasn't there. It was only Mane carrying that team to the. He had an injury-prone Daniel Sturridge. He wasn't a Klopp type presser. Do you know what I mean? So they were missing a hell of a load of attackers. That team was very, very different to what it is now. Do you know what I mean? Klopp's been there 6 years, but that team that got top 4 wasn't the team it was now. It was nowhere near the team it was now.
Yeah, and I understand what you guys are saying, and
the thing is,
there's a lot of performances they weren't good.
So sorry to just interject as well. Like, and Liverpool is a good example to use because they're not an oil club. They're not financially backed like that. Do you know what I mean? They don't have. We're talking about good recruitment and good coaching here. Do you know what I mean? So we're never going to be able to spend the sums that Chelsea, United, and City do. We can all sit here and accept that. However, there are still other ways to try and mitigate and close the gap, and I don't think we're doing enough in terms of that. Like I said, for me, once you're playing once a week, there's no excuse not to be a heavy metal sort of pressing. We look so meek. Why do we even look out of shape? Why do we look tired? Compared to other teams who are playing every 3 days.
Even when you say the money stuff, we spend money. We spend way more money than Liverpool. We don't even sell
a lot of money. Arsenal spent a lot of money.
Like, I don't get it. The resources are there, the facilities are there. We have a lot of young, promising players. We have even players that are young and promising that he doesn't use. Like, you're doing this Project Youth shit, and then you grab him for Oneni at Old Trafford. I don't understand it. Like, it's just, I feel like he's fallen. I definitely think there was some parts in the first 10 games where he kind of found a rhythm when I think I said this on the spaces as well. He had a bit of a formula. I mean, I don't think Lacazette in the 10 is good, but he was pressing. He gave us some intensity. Aubameyang was doing the runs in behind. Saka and Isa played fairly well, and Lokonga and Partey were establishing some sort of relationship on the pitch. And I thought it was a decent outfit. And I felt like we were getting some momentum. And then he started switching it up again. Injury or not, Xhaka coming back straight in, playing 90 minutes, craziness to me. When Lokonga was man of the match against Newcastle, and then didn't play a minute against United, didn't play a minute against Liverpool, didn't play a minute against. He did play against Liverpool. Sorry, didn't play a minute against United, didn't play a minute against Everton.
Same goes for Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well.
Exactly, who was man of the match at Watford. Both had good performances. It's not like these guys came in and looked trash. They actually look pretty competent. And do you know? And Finn, let me quickly finish.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
One of the big things that Arteta always gets wrong: the sequencing of players into good form, good performances. He did it last year when people were picking up good performances. He started taking them out, putting Willian in. Then he left Willian in for time when Willian was trash. Same way Aubameyang was not really good for a few games. Maybe you should have just dropped Aubameyang one game and put in Eddie. I don't know. But just if you look at someone like Tuchel, for example, Chelsea fans will moan and say, "Oh, why is Cho not playing? After playing 3 games in a row, why is Pulisic playing now? Why is Werner playing now? He switches them all around because he has to have them all ready to perform to him at some point or at the point that he needs them. Whereas Arteta leaves guys in the cold and then brings them in and wants them to perform, like Elneny, like Jack was not injured. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's going to come back in. I bet he's going to come back in very soon as well. He just keeps doing it. Even Lacazette has not featured really much after being taken out. Odegaard didn't feature much, then straight back in, playing games in a row. He might be taken out again soon. It's just like the way he managed the squad, it doesn't help us. And the tactics don't help us. The way we perform every week don't help us. There's so many things that I feel like, boy, we are lacking. We are just lacking, man.
So, do you know what? It was hard for me to look at that Everton game and think it was something tactical that was wrong. I felt like we were just losing battles all over the pitch, man. Like, I looked at Partey in midfield, and I just don't know. Is he on a wind up?
Boy.
Because I'm a bit confused with what's going on with him right now. And you know, listen, I get it. It's the manager's job to get the best out of a player, right? And Arteta isn't getting the best out of his players. So for me, Arteta should go, right? Like I'm done. He tried to have his little revival, but we keep going back to the status quo, right? Or whatever it is. Like we keep going back to reverting to the mean. Is a good expression, maybe. We keep reverting back to the mean, and this is the mean. The mean is 6th, 7th, 8th. That's our mean, right? But I think some of these players, they need to take a long look at themselves, man. And it's the senior boys. It's the senior boys that I'm really not happy with. Partey, he came out in midweek and was like, yeah, man, like I've been, what did he say? He said he's been like a 4 out of 10. Is he a 5 out of 10 or whatever? He said it's been a 5 out of 10 since touchdown. So as soon as I heard that, I said, well, at least the geezer's got some self-awareness. You know, at least he understands that he's not performing to the best of his ability. And from what I heard, it's like, I'm trying my best every day to try and get to the level, right? For him to drop that performance at Everton, it was so bad. He had Decore just pamming him. It was It was a disgrace. And why Xhaka played again? This is on Arteta, so no. There's no shifting away from the blame on Arteta. Why Xhaka played, I have no idea, because he was. I looked more mobile than Xhaka in there, you know, and how he played 90 minutes, I don't know. I'm baffled with it. I really am baffled with it. But at the same time, I'm also baffled by the performances of some of our players. Aubameyang, Jesus Christ, that chance at the end. Fuck me, man. Like, I understand Arteta he's making a lot of mistakes, but he's not being helped by some of these players, man. These performances are just not good enough. The midfield is not good enough, man. And I don't know the answer to it. I don't know. Does a new manager come in and get more out of Partey?
The thing is, I definitely feel like their level is like as low as it can get right now. Both Partey and Aubameyang, and I feel some part of me feels like these guys don't want to play for Arteta. And I feel like if there's a new manager coming in, that new manager bounce is going to be new. That's how I feel personally. Whether that's going to happen, I don't think we'll see it, because I think Arteta's going to see out the season. But Partey, I think Aubameyang has had some decent performances this year. And definitely in terms of effort, I don't think on the goal scoring side we can argue that he's been good at all. He's missed a lot of chances.
Too many chances, man.
So many chances, but he's actually getting chances again. Last year he didn't get any chances, so we can actually say now, oh, this guy's getting chances and he's fucking missing it. There's a problem with you now, Aubameyang. You know, rather than
he's got the 4th highest XG in the Premier League.
Yeah, and he's like what 20th on goal scored or something like that.
Yeah, he scored 4 goals in 14 games, and he's the 4th highest XG in the Premier League.
He should be on like nine goals or something like that.
Well, in the Premier League, who's the 4th highest goal scorer? Sadio Mane's got 7.
Yeah, so he should be like I think they're saying he should be in around 9 goals if he was in line with his XG. And usually he always slightly performs under it, so it should be 8. He should be double the goals that he has.
Yeah,
that's
but you see those double goals. You're looking at the season a little bit different, are you not?
Sure, but this is
obviously it depends when those goals are come. It could have been the Watford game. He scores all those 3 chances. Anyway. We win 4-0 instead of 1-0. It doesn't change our points tally whatsoever, does it? But if it had been the chance against Everton, if it had been the chance against Man United, maybe you take 2 points from those games rather than 0 from, and all of a sudden, you know, you aren't 7th. You're in 5th place, still in touch tight to top 4.
Sure. So it's a big difference if he doesn't score. But generally, I think with Partey, we spoke a bit about Aubameyang. He's had some decent performances. He's generally been shit as well. But Partey with me, I don't understand it. You actually fit for the first time, and you look in. I think he's had just standard performances. That I don't think I've seen an outstanding performance from him this season so far, and that is not good enough. And this guy's played like every game. Like I've seen games. Look, Lukonga had good games. I can think of 2 good games from Lukonga. I can think of 2 good games from Ain't Maitland-Niles. I can't think of a good game of Partey in the Premier League. Yeah. And that's shocking when you think about that. That's actually shocking.
It is, because our biggest fear about Partey coming into this season was, is he going to stay fit? Right? So obviously we had the nightmare pre-season where he actually did get injured, and we watched him pre-season. We thought, fucking hell, Partey, he's looking like he's doing bits. And then obviously he got the injury, and we're like, well, ain't that our fucking luck? But since coming back from that injury, he just, I wouldn't say he's been completely horrible in all the games, and he's had some decent performances, but the last 3 or 4 weeks have been, I think he's having us on. Seriously. I look at him and I'm thinking, is he like, can he not just, he can't believe his luck that he's in London earning 200,000, 250k a week, you know? Like, is that what it is? Because I just can't get my head around it.
Low wage to perform.
It's
the hunger's gone. Listen, Partey's not chasing players in midfield. He's chasing babes at DOT. That's what he's doing instead.
You go on Thomas Partey's Instagram, yeah, pre-Arsenal.
Oh God,
no pictures, bro. Just pictures of him playing for Atletico, fam.
And training kit pictures,
bro. Now you go on his Instagram, yeah, it's all drip, all watches, and I'm like, fuck this guy, man. Put him back on 10k a week, bro. Put him back on 10k a week, fam. Like, I'm done with him, man. Shit.
It's seriously bad, though. It's seriously bad.
It is bad. It is bad. It is bad. Look, this podcast's a bit all over the place, right? And there's several things to to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is Odegaard. Well, the next thing I want to talk about is Odegaard. He started scoring, you know, and I wanna know what you guys thought about his performance the other night.
I thought he was decent, man. Especially in the second half, he started to do more of the stuff that I've really been asking for him to do. You know, get on the ball more, try and create more, try and take control of situations. So no, it was good, man. And you know, he started to, maybe it's just a case of, you know, he needed a run of games to get up to scratch and, you know, get going. But both at Old Trafford and at Goodison Park, probably he's the one guy who's come out with more credit than the others. So hopefully it's, you know, the start of a decent run of form for him, because we've been very, very down on him, partly because the expectations have been very, very high of Odegaard, because we all know he's got ability as a player, but he's just not shown it enough. So hopefully it'd just be nice to, like, you know, have him, Saka and ESR all in good form, you know, at once. But yeah, it's good that he started to contribute. We've spoken about anyone playing in that front four needs to contribute. So that's 3 goals for the season for him now. So yeah, let's see if we can keep it up, man. But yeah, generally as well, you know, I've been critical of him because I feel like he's not influenced games enough. Generally, for someone of his ability. Now, I don't know how much of that we can put down to the pivot. You know, we've spoken about our ball circulation, the ball not getting into him in the final third quickly enough. So I don't know if it's a structural thing or, you know, it's him needing to up his own level himself. Maybe it's just a combination of both. But yeah, I certainly felt a bit more encouraged by what I saw of him on Monday and against United as well. So I hope this can be the start of something going forward. And, you know, it's easy to forget he's still only 22 himself in it, but he's been around the block for a while. So yeah, hopefully going forward we can see more of that, man.
Dan, what about yourself? I know you're not Odegaard's biggest fan, but how have you evaluated his performances against United and Everton?
The thing is, I actually, as you know, I'm actually a big fan of his.
Oh yeah, you are. Sorry, I get you confused with Dan Coogs.
Brother, listen, we have the same name, but we don't look the same, yeah?
Yeah, you're much more handsome.
I'll take that. But yeah, I was a big fan of this, and this is why I was very critical of him in his performances, because I feel like he is a player and he has potential, but I'm not buying into this potential stuff anymore. What I need to see is what can you do on the football pitch, and until I see that, I can't really, just what do you call it, project and hope that it comes in 3 months or 6 months. I'm gonna judge you on what you do now, even though I see that you have ability. And I feel like Old Trafford, I think the first half everyone was shit. First half everyone was shit, and I think he came away with a goal. I think it was good movement, and even in that game, I was kind of down on him. Even especially with that penalty thing, I was thinking it's just a stupid decision that he made there. And I think the rage really got me that day. I think got a lot of people that day. But nevertheless, I still felt, okay, let's see if he continues with Odegaard or Lacazette. I can't lie, I kind of thought maybe go with Lacazette, just try press Everton. Aubameyang and Lacazette to press from the front. He continued with Odegaard. And first half, again, I was like, oh my God, what's my man doing? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. But in the second half, he showed a lot of character. In the second half, I felt like he was the one player that tried to put the things together and piece it together, and he was taking more difficult controls, and he was dropping the shoulder, going past the man, and those are the things that I saw him do before we signed him permanently. And I thought, yeah, this is what he can give us, and this is what he needs to give us, because frankly, we don't have enough players that do that, that can play under pressure in those pockets and do stuff. There's still a few things that I feel like I'm missing from this game, and I said that in the spaces as well. For me, as a playmaker, yes, the final pass needs to be a bit better as well, I feel. But he's attempting final passes, which is good, and he's seen the passes. He always sees the pass. Just execution needs to be a bit better and the weight of the pass. But what I need to see from you as well is the give and go. And this is how ESR creates loads of situations, loads of havoc. And people have likened Odegaard to Ozil, but he doesn't do what Ozil does. Ozil used to do giving goals and destroy defenses that way, just through movement. And for me, Odegaard a bit too static. You can't just be in that right-hand side, in that space there, waiting for Saka to run in behind or waiting for Aubameyang to run in behind. You need to force the issue and take the game to the opponent. And I just feel like if he does that a bit more, and he tried to do it a little bit against Everton, I feel like he can influence the games much, much better, and we'll see more from him. But he needs to be less static. If he's static, he's not going to do anything for me. We need dynamism in his movement and more accuracy in his passing. And I think we'll have a good player for 30 million as well. But it needs to come. So yeah, that's my thoughts on him currently.
He did a good job of getting into the box, and he actually had 3 or 4 of this exact same chance.
Yeah, he's arriving late in the box.
Arriving late in the box, a little cutback. 2 of the chances I think were blocked. I thought he could probably have done a little bit better in those situations rather than, just shooting straight away. I think one of the chances he committed a defender and went for a shot and blocked. I wanted him to be a little bit more composed.
That's the one I actually thought he should have taken on his right foot early. The one where he cut back in.
Everton game, then he had one yet.
No, that was one.
He had like 3 of them at Everton.
There was another one where Eddie cut in and he passed it and he took the shot straight away and it got blocked. I wasn't actually too mad at that. But it was the one where it was closer to the end, I think, where Eddie fed him again. And, it was onto his right. Like, if you're taking it first time on your right, like, I think he could have scored, but obviously he's not comfortable on his right. So he tried to cut back in on his left and then the shot got blocked. So I think he should have maybe taken that. But yeah, it seems like, that's been a feature of ESR's game, getting into a lot of promising positions this season. So if Odegaard can add that as well, then, that can be another avenue, hopefully, for increasing the goal scoring potential, because God knows our strikers ain't doing it, mate.
No, and I wanted to get onto the strikers. Obviously, we've spoke about Aubameyang briefly, and how would you guys feel about Aubameyang sitting down? And
He's
not doing anything though.
he's got to come back in the next game because Lacazette actually took the piss. I read the stat today that Lacazette's only had 5 shots on goal all season. I think that's absolutely nothing.
Does it have to be Lacazette? Can it not? No. Why can't Balogun get a go? Why can't?
Because I mean, firstly, Eddie. There's no way Eddie should be getting this game time considering he's rejected a note. He wants to go. Fair. So I don't. So for
although
me,
he played well against Everton,
that's great, and I'm not even disputing that he did. But he shouldn't be a factor. He's not even been in 10 of the squads this season. So why all of a sudden now should he be a factor in loads of squads? Because what the hypocrisy I don't like about this is last season we were crying for Balogun to get minutes, and they were like, "Oh, commit to the club, sign the contract, and then you'll get minutes." He signed the contract; he's not got any minutes. But now all of a sudden, Eddie, who's not been playing, who's not been involved, all of a sudden. He's getting loads of minutes,
very good points,
even though he's refusing to commit to the club. So that's another Arteta thing, which I don't like, hypocrisy. I think it was Arsblog who said it. It's like Arteta seems more keen on making a point rather than trying to win games for Arsenal at the moment, and I don't like that behaviour at all. So that sort of man management.
But what point could he be making?
What's the point? So the Eddie thing, I think he's making a point to Pepe and Oba, because obviously whatever beef he has with Pepe, because Pepe's not playing. He's played 5 minutes, I think, in the last 6 league games. So he's being brought to games. He's just not playing. Oba, I think your form has been terrible. Fix up or pattern up or whatever. So yeah, I don't know in it. So, and the thing is, I don't even want to be too harsh on Eddie because I actually thought, the fact of the matter is he came on the other day and he looked on.
He's our best attacker.
So you know what? Fair play to him. And I've been very critical of him. He looked actually quite technically secure when he came on as well. So you know what, props. But I don't like that, because he's not been a feature. He wanted to go, we had a bid accepted from Palace that he rejected himself. So I don't think he should be a feature. I think we should be prioritizing Balogun right now. And we've chosen, we've left him in the under 23s for 6 months, which has done nothing. He's scored like 14, 15 goals in 10 games. It's not doing anything for him. Do you know what I mean? So either he comes into the squad now, or which I think is, but I think obviously what's better for him is that he just goes on loan and plays every week. But yeah, it's an absolute shit show. And that's probably one thing.
Why not put Martinelli up front?
Do you know?
I can't lie.
Does he not deserve a go? Does he not deserve a go?
He definitely deserves his time in the squad, but he doesn't. You see how the striker plays under Arteta? I'm not convinced he will look good as a striker under Arteta. Funnily enough, I thought he looked good as a striker under Emery.
I was going to say he only looked good as a striker under Emery.
He's never looked a striker under Emery, but every time Arteta's played,
how many times have you seen him up front for Arteta though?
It's like 3-4 times, but he's not done anything for me. So
up front, I don't. When's the game that he's played up front? I don't really remember.
There was Fulham last year. He started Chelsea this year.
Do you know the problem is the striker doesn't get fed in Arteta's team,
and this is it.
They don't get fed, and if you
say that as Aubameyang has that 4th highest XG in the Premier League.
Yeah, but Aubameyang
still say that.
We say Aubameyang's washed. Yeah, he's still one of the best movers in this game. He really is. Like it's literally like undisputable.
He looks off the pace to me, boy.
Because of course his finishing is looking terrible, but we are not creating that much. We are not creating that much, but he's getting the chances. Think about Lacazette. Lacazette played 85 minutes in that game. Did he get a shot in the box?
Well, fucking Tierney's crossing the ball. My man's asking for the ball outside the fucking box.
Bro, 85 minutes. 85 minutes. Lacazette didn't get a shot in the box. Aubameyang was on for 5 minutes, got a shot in the box. Granted, he missed, but his ability to get into goals and
that's the thing. No matter how much Oba has been stinking, I still trust him more than Laka, just because the fact of the matter is Oba's missing the chances. Laka will never get those chances.
Bro, just because of chances, yeah.
Because of the fact of the matter is I don't even want to talk about Lacazette because he makes me so angry. He actually makes me so angry. But yeah, man, this is probably the only area I am slightly sympathetic with Arteta in is that we need new forwards. There's
well, I mean, he chose not to put resources to forwards, didn't he? He chose to give Aubameyang the contract. He chose to keep Lacazette at the club,
and that's why I don't have sympathy with him. Your allocation of resources since you've been at the club is pretty evident. You've chosen to invest heavily in the defensive side, so you can't now moan about resource allocation because you spent more than managers in the Champions League get to spend. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword, mate. Deal with it. Your job is to extract and make Arsenal look better. At the end of the day, my overarching feeling is that he can't coach an attack. If I've not seen it in 2 years now, I'm not going to see it because, you know, people keep like, oh, wait till Arteta gets his striker. Listen, Arteta getting his wonderful forward, even if it's Vlahovic, it's not going to turn Arsenal into an all-conquering, like, attacking side. It's just not going to.
Might make us better, though.
We'll see incremental improvements, but is it going to help bridge the gap to where we want to go? I don't think so. So really and truthfully, based on the evidence of the 2 years you've had, if it's not going to get better now, why are we still persisting with it?
Let me ask you a question. Our strongest attack, where's it rank in the Premier League?
Not high.
That's 6th. Yeah.
So to be fair, I don't think it's better than Leicester's.
So see, this is my thing, right? This is what I think. I just think our attack, yes, it could be coached better.
No. So I know where you're going with this. I think
not good enough, man.
I already know where you're going with this. If you gave ESR, Odegaard, Saka, Oba to Wenger, I guarantee you. That's what I'm saying. Guarantee you.
We're only saying 6 of what we are seeing right now.
Brother,
ESR's got 5 goals. At the start of December, 5 goals in the league, brother. If he plays for Wenger, this better is getting 10 goals easy.
Brother, Wenger that was playing Bentner, Eboué, Shamak, brother. They're scoring under Wenger. They are scoring.
Saka's scoring under Wenger as well, and he's missing bears.
Yeah. These guys are pamming.
It's the amount of game situation you get into.
I don't think Aubameyang's pamming. I definitely don't think Saka's pamming. I think ESR's a good shout because I think he's a natural goal scorer. But
Saka would score.
But Lacazette never pammed on the Wenger.
Hang on, Lewis. You're now saying ESR's a natural. You weren't calling ESR a natural goal scorer last season.
No, I've always said no. I've always said ASR has the ability to score goals. No.
If I dig up in the group chat,
have I not always said ESR has got the potential to score goals? I just said I don't think he's gonna get the goals this year. I don't think it's gonna come as easy as we think it would be. Like with some of the predictions, some of you guys were saying he's gonna get like 8 goals or whatever it was this season. I think it was. I said he wouldn't. He probably will get that this season. But I've always thought ESR has the potential to score goals. So, yeah, you ain't got me.
Saka has not.
You ain't got me. Put your guns down.
No. I think as I was waiting for Sean to speak, but he was on mute. So you don't think Saka has potential to score goals?
No, I don't think Saka's a goal scorer, man.
You don't have
Saka's never going to score goals. I guarantee you. I'll put money on it right now.
You do not have money on it right now to score goals. You know that, right?
Saka is never scoring more than 10 in a Premier League season.
Never.
He's not a goal scorer. I've seen enough from Saka. He's not a goal scorer.
You do know this guy's got another 10 years in the Premier League.
I could well be wrong, but just what I'm seeing from Saka, I just don't think he has it in him to score goals. He doesn't get close enough to goal. He doesn't make enough goal scoring movements. His finishing is not good enough, and I really like Saka. I think he's really good, but for me, he's never going to be a shooter. Never going to be a shooter. He hasn't got the goal scoring instincts.
I actually think he can because last season I remember he scored, I think it was 7. He missed bare chances, and you know the funny thing is you're saying goal scoring movements. He got into bare goal scoring positions last season, loads.
Apparently we weren't making any chances. So which one is it?
I think these sorts of things can be easily refined. So,
but which one is it, lads? Are we not making chances, or our strikers missing loads of chances? Which one is it?
Bro, you do realize all these attackers miss bet. The guys that score 30 goals,
do you know how many chances Salah misses a game?
I understand
that.
So, because we're doing this on a small level, we're missing chances, but we're only scoring 5 goals because we don't miss enough chances as well. Like we don't actually get enough. We don't have the volume of chances to score.
We are clutching at straws. The fact you have to bring up isolated moments in games, like Liverpool and City are having close to 30 shots a game. Brother, they're scoring like 3-4 goals a game. So how many chances are they missing? Do you know what I mean? So, but do you know why? It doesn't matter. Brother, Sterling misses like 3-4 chances a game, bro. I don't think they care. They know chances are coming like confetti. There's still more chances coming. So, yeah, man, it's just... I'm stressed, bro.
We need new attackers, and I'm willing to sit Aubameyang down, and
For
I would
who
play
though?
Martinelli up front. Get ESR, Odegaard in the same team. Get ESR, Odegaard, Saka midfield. Get that as the front three with Aubameyang up front, with Martinelli up front, and let's see how that goes, man. Because
Your man took you to the right place, but I get it. Maybe as a gesture, you want to sit him down, but I don't think it's for the better of the team. There's no guarantee.
he's doing nothing for us. What's he fucking doing? He's not fucking doing anything.
You sound
He's
so
just
Brexit
fucking
right
missing
now.
chances. Like
He's on the
he's
jolly up.
shit. He's finished.
On the
He's
jolly up.
He's fried. He's done. Well, we've decided to put money into him, and but it's reviving a fucking dead dog. You know, he's done. He's done. What more can we extract from Aubameyang? He's finished. Generally, honestly, do you see Aubameyang scoring 15 goals this season?
No. The thing is, I actually agree with you that I think we need a new striker. At the same time, I'm not even necessary because you're saying 15 goals. He could already be on double figures. Aubameyang.
Is he going to score 15 goals though? Is he going to do it?
No, probably not.
He's not going to do it. So fuck off, man. Get out of the team. Get out of the team. If you ain't going to score 15 goals, get the fuck out of the team. Why are you in the team for? Fuck off. Give the minutes to someone who is actually going to do something positive, and we can build for the fucking future. Aubameyang ain't the future. Fuck off. Like, get out of the team, man. I'm tired of this shit. And I've been defending Aubameyang for the fucking longest time, but fuck off. Fuck off, mate. You know, because I can't even say, oh, we're not creating for Oba. We clearly are creating for Oba. He's just fucking missing every chance that he gets.
Yeah,
you know, we are creating for Oba. Yeah, yes, he's not fucking getting chances like he would at Man City and Liverpool, but he's getting chances like Antonio's getting for West Ham. He's getting chances that Vardy's getting for Leicester. He's getting chances that all these other strikers that are scoring goals, he's getting the chances on the same level as them. They're notching. He isn't. Fuck off. Get out. Martinelli up front. Let's see if he does a better job. And if he doesn't do a better job, guess what? We've got Fuller and Balogun. Why not give him some go? Why not give him some minutes? You know? All right.
The fact this is what we're talking about as a club, we're actually in the mud.
We're finished. I was thinking this, like, how many goals are we going to get out of these guys, man?
But this is what I'm saying. How do we expect to score goals if we can't even look at where we're getting goals from in the team? If we can't identify players who are going to score goals, how the fuck are we going to score goals?
Why?
You
know, like anyway.
Sounding a bit aggressive there, Lewis, mate.
Yeah, well.
I'm joking.
Don't give me those microaggressions, mate. All right. Jesus Christ, this fucking team is going to be the death of me, mate. It's going to be the fucking death of me. Anyway, look, is there anything else you want to talk about from that Everton game? Look, the goals we conceded. I mean, Damari Gray, what a fucking hit that is. You know, I was actually going to say before that, I was going to say, oh, all right. Tobiasu's done it all right against Damari Gray, actually. You know, because we know Damari Gray's tricky. He's buzzy. That's my word for Damari Gray. He buzzes around a bit. Do you know what I mean? Buzzy. And
it was an outrageous goal, to be fair.
He was trying things, but you know, he wasn't really getting past Tomiyasu, and then bro, he's just shot from fucking Saturn, and it's just off the post and in. What a fucking goal. Like, if there's a goal to win a game, you know, I actually thought that game on the balance of chances, I felt like that game was quite tight. I know Everton had 2 disallowed goals, but in my books, a disallowed goal is a disallowed goal, and it like you're in a position that you shouldn't be, so they don't count in my books. But
they don't count in anyone's book. But the premise is that they're getting in situations where they're
so did we though, bro. So did we. Yeah, and Ketia missed an open goal.
Yeah, but this is what I don't disagree with what you're saying, but they still matter in the context of things because they're getting very close to scoring, right? And twice. It's not just once. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. The first goal, Richarlison's goal. I'm trying.
Which one? Like, he scored 3, mate.
the one that actually counted.
Yeah.
Header.
Yeah, the header.
Yeah.
I was
Is that off a great shot as well?
Yeah, it came off. It was a good save from Ramsdale onto the crossbar, and then Richarlison's put the header in. I thought it was really poor defending from Tavares, and I think and another thing I didn't really understand. Tierney's been out of the team for what? How long now?
Nearly a month.
but he's been back with the squad. Training.
Didn't even come off the bench. That's what I'm saying about Arteta doing sequencing.
But how is he not getting 90 minutes, but Xhaka is after coming back off that doesn't make any fucking sense. You're defending the lead at Goodison Park. Why the fuck have we brought Tavares on? I didn't understand that.
The thing is, even if you say you want to defend the lead and you want to bring Tavares on, then put him in front of Tierney, or do you know what I mean? So I don't understand what that
sub. It was completely miffed me, bro.
And do you know why? Do you know why it was a massive waste? Because then 2 minutes later, Martinelli gets injured.
Yeah,
and then do you know what I mean? And then you've got to bring on Eddie, so you've got to make an unenforced sub. When you could see Xhaka was physically blowing after 60 minutes,
God.
And you know when,
So with Partey.
And the thing is, you know, once the game gets stretched, it's finished because Lacazette can't run, Xhaka can't run, and on the evidence, Partey doesn't have much of an engine himself either. So, do you know what I mean? So once the game started getting stretched, and I saw Doucouré started stretching his legs, I said, "Oh God!" I said, "We in trouble now." Once Doucouré started stretching his legs, I said, "Yeah."
You man, what do you think? I think for that game, really looking back on it retrospectively, Partey and Xhaka was the complete wrong midfield. We should have gone Lokonga and Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yeah.
I would never drop Partey I would never drop Partey. I would never not play Partey.
But I get what you're saying, but we needed to get one of these guys next to him at least.
I agree. I wouldn't have played Xhaka. No, I wouldn't have played Xhaka.
Yeah, I generally, and this is the thing, like, you know, Arteta spoke about, and this is another hypocritical thing, he spoke about showing faith in players even when things don't go well. So like after Anfield, he kept Lokonga and Tavares in the team. So why is now Lokonga gone 2 games without getting a single minute on the pitch? Bearing in mind,
Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone 3 games without getting a single minute.
Also, bearing in mind, Lokonga's your guy. You went and spent the best part of 20 mil on him in the summer. Do you know what I mean? So, and all of a sudden now, brother, it just made me just remember El Neni played the whole game at Old Trafford. Do you know what? Yeah, listen.
That Richarlison goal came from the throw-in, right?
I don't know if it came from a throw-in. I can't remember, but Demarai Gray cut in, shot. Ramsdale saved it onto the crossbar, and Tavares is just sitting there watching.
Yeah, he's ball watching.
Richarlison head the ball,
and then and
it's like
so I think someone crosses the ball back. Did someone cross the ball back in? And then Richarlison's there for the header. Basically, he's just the sharpest one. But yeah, we were ball watching. It was just bad.
Yeah, I just think in those games where you're defending the lead, you want your defenders to defend, right? It could get sticky. You're up north. You're 1-0 up. Last 10 minutes. You've not had a great game. You need to defend that lead. You need to have defenders on the pitch. You don't bring on fucking Nuno Tavares, who, listen, everyone loves him. He's the flavour of the month, but he's not shown me that he's a defender. He's shown me that he's a good offensive weapon from fullback, but he hasn't shown me that he's a pure defender. And I just don't think that goal happens if Tierney's on the pitch. I think Tierney's alert to things. I think he's I don't know. I just think he understands where to be on the pitch. I just can't see that goal happening if Tierney's on the pitch. I think he gets in front of Richarlison, makes it difficult for him at least, and yeah, man, I just didn't understand it. Unless Tierney was injured again, and if he's injured again, then he can fuck off as well, because I'm getting tired of this shit, getting injured every fucking week. It's ridiculous, mate. Fucking footballers.
I kind of get what you're saying on that. These things, I never know though. I can't, and I do think that Tavares sub was stupid though. It doesn't make sense to bring the fullback on he's known for going forward, taking risks, in a game where maybe we needed a bit of risk, but we needed a bit of assurance as well. So it felt like a wrong sub to me.
I thought Tierney was doing all right as well. I thought he had a good, solid game.
I think it was okay. I think he should have subbed him in the midfield. He had to do something, and he didn't.
Yeah, that was really, and we've spoken before about Arteta's in-game management, like, or just letting games drift. Like, there was visibly Xhaka was, because to be fair, even though we were crap, Xhaka was actually all right until like the game started getting stretched. The moment
and then he was visibly blown out of his arse.
He was visibly shattered, like he was visibly tired, and you're like, you have to make the move. Like, I mean, obviously, I've got my issues with Xhaka's mobility anyway. At the best of times,
and he was on a yellow card. I swear Xhaka was on a yellow.
Yeah.
That's why you couldn't foul the guy.
That's why I couldn't foul for that.
Yeah,
for
that's
that
why
second,
you couldn't foul him. Yeah,
for that second goal in it. So yeah, it was.
It's poor. It's poor from Arteta. It's poor from him, man. It's poor in loads of aspects.
I feel like he's galaxy brained so much the last 2 games as well. Like, and he just has that tendency just to overthink and just do dumb stuff because, like that horseshoe passing, that U-shaped passing was back again against Everton. There was just why was it going? Like, there was just no centralization to the play. I didn't get it, bro.
One thing I thought in both games, more so against Everton, because I actually watched the Everton game in its entirety, was the distance in between the players was humongous. Like Tierney would pick up a pass in the left back area, right? And he wouldn't have Xhaka near him. He wouldn't have Partey near him. His only option would be to go back to Gabriel. He's getting pressed on his weaker side. Didn't have anything going forward ahead of him. Odegaard spends so much time on the right side of the pitch. I don't feel like he makes himself available when we're under the cosh because he wants it in a particular area of the pitch. He's not roaming.
But you see, Lewis, part of the problem with that is Arteta doesn't want players to roam. That's the issue. He's asking them to hold their positions. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way he wants to play. So this is where you can criticize the setup or so to speak, because under Wenger there would be rotation of positions. Players would be moving about. Players would be combining, and Arteta's a lot more strict and rigid in his approach, and that's why I thought, especially, I was falling asleep in that first half. That first half was one of the most boring first halves of football I'd watched.
Whilst I agree with you, don't you think Lacazette, when he plays in that 10 role, obviously he's not a proper 10, but don't you think he does a better job of spreading himself?
I don't think he's moving about like that. I think Lacazette's visibly more noticeable because he presses heavier. He runs. He looks like he looks like he's a bit more intense. But I don't think, like, in general play, like, this is the thing. Like, when we were having that little sort of 4-4-2 with him and Oba, like, he was getting a lot of praise for that, but he wasn't actually contributing that much on the ball. He wasn't helping us. He was. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't helping us progress play. He wasn't popping up in decent positions. He wasn't taking shots. Like, he was helping the overall structure by pressing, but overall on the ball, he actually didn't bring anything. Sorry, yeah.
Do you know what made me sick about this game? Afterwards, all these neeks on Twitter were fucking doing, oh, look how great Arsenal's build-up was.
Yeah.
And it's like, our build-up was terrible in this game. Absolutely terrible. And that's not to say, I don't think we're actually a terrible team building up from the back. I think we actually progressed the ball quite well from defense to midfield to attack. And then where we lack the quality is in the final third. That's my personal opinion. That's what I think. And that's what I see when I watch games. I feel like we progress the ball quite well until we get to that final third. And then it's like it all goes wrong. But I thought in this game, visibly, we could not progress the ball for shit. For shit. Like, everyone was all over the place. We were too far from each other. And that's why we kept getting broken on. Because every time we managed to get the ball up the field, players were too far away from each other, so possession would break down. And because players were not properly positioned and they weren't, the distance was too far away from each other, Doucouré just running for our midfield. Like, there's loads of gaps in there. And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what people were watching. I think just because you see a few nice passes from the left back to the centre back to the right back doesn't mean that's good build-up play.
But also as well, like, the fact that you're mentioning that we shouldn't be having discussions 2 years in around
about build-up. No, it should be a foregone conclusion.
Like, those sorts of things should be, just commonplace. And also, by the fact of the matter is that if that's rearing its head, like as I said, you've got all week with these guys. Like this shouldn't be an issue. Do you know what I mean? So win or lose, our style of play should be, apparent regardless. Do you know what I mean? I think Ranić said it recently as well. He said, regardless of what's happening, I should be able to see your imprint on every single game. Do you know what I mean? So, and you spoke about the build-up being decent, and I'd expect the bloody build-up to be decent. How much money have we committed in resources to that back line? Do you know what I mean? If that's not good, then
how about build-up?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's for so many problems.
And the thing is, I don't even think our build-up is that great. I think our build-up lacks variety. What we do is we play a lot in one sort of way. And that way is playing through the goalkeeper, then the centre backs and the wing backs, fullbacks, and the midfield. We always play in that sort of way. We don't go direct often enough. If like there was the video clip there, for example, they were showing where our build-up was apparently nice. We just went side to side, and Everton got back into shape. When we could pass 2 or 3 players, we passed it back round for them to get back into shape. As soon as you surpass a few players, you're supposed to take advantage of that. If you've gotten past the first line of attack, then you need to get past the second line, not let the first line of attack get back into position. And that's the problem. We don't play with enough pace. And I think the only performances that we've had this year, which were good, was when we play with pace. The pace is the pace of the football is what determines how well we perform. And when it's moving slowly, everything will be off. The rhythm will be off, the spacing will be off, and being able to win the ball back will be off, the intensity will be off. And it's just a domino effect. And I think in the last 3 games, I think 3, 4. I don't know. I can't quite remember if Newcastle was after Liverpool. But anyway, in the Liverpool game, United game, and Everton game, everything was completely off. And
Newcastle was the game after Liverpool.
Okay, and against Newcastle, I think the first half was not good, but they put it together in the second half. So the things started coming together. We played with more pace in the second half, ended up winning it quite comfortably. And
the thing is, if you know you need to play with pace every game, why are we not doing it? What it's
one
a simple
game a week, bro.
to get out one. Like you've got so much time on your hands. I thought, I think it was Ant who even tweeted it from the account earlier this week. He was like, I wonder what the excuse for Arteta is going to be next. They've spoken about, he need pre-season. 1 game a week, no Europe will benefit us. He needed a 10. He needed X, he needed Y. He needed a full summer. There's always a new excuse. Now he needs his new forwards. Do you know what I mean? And this is why I said I'm tired of any excuse. I don't think forwards are going to change much anyway. You might have better individual quality in the final third, but overall, I still don't think he's going to be the guy to take us to where we want to go, unfortunately. And that's the sad overarching point. And, they alluded to it on Arsenal Vision as well. They said, literally, you don't judge based on what you hope to see. You judge based on what you've seen and the evidence that you have. And the evidence we've had over Arteta's 2 years in charge, the tenure is just not good enough. And need to see change.
On that note, I think we should call it a night, lads. It's getting late. We said 45 minutes. We've done over an hour. So
this is why my blood is pumping, bro. I mean, Lewis was going on. Lewis was a very aggressive this pod.
The thing is, I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm just tired. Man. I generally might not even watch the Southampton game. I'm fucking tired of it, mate. Seriously,
we're all watching it.
The thing is,
let's not lie to ourselves.
To be fair, I'm working, so I might have it on in the background. But even the Everton game, there's a disinterest from me again, and and I don't want to sound like a spoilt brat, but. Bruv, give me something, you fucking stupid cunting team, man. Give me something. You know what I mean? Give me something to celebrate. It's mad because on Saturday, I had such a great day, a great evening. I celebrated something that was like really personal to me, and I celebrated so good. And afterwards, I reflected on it, and I thought, bruh, when was the last time Arsenal made me feel this way?
Bruv, it's peak.
When was the last time I celebrated like that as an Arsenal fan? And you know what? I had to think back. You know the time I came up with? Arshavin's goal against Barcelona at the Emirates. That's the last time I actually lost my head as an Arsenal fan and went absolutely nuts about something.
Over 10 years ago.
Over 10 years ago.
Damn.
You know, and it really put into perspective for me. I don't get any joy out of this team, man. They don't give me any joy. It's shit. Let's get someone in who's going to give us joy, man. Like, play good football, score goals.
That's it. And
you know?
and that's the main thing for me. You know, I can even accept not winning. Like, and you know, Arsenal are always going to have to find it tough because we're playing against some financially dope clubs. But in the meantime, give me some entertainment, please. Just give me something that I can smile about. The things that make me smile so much in this team really are ESR and Saka. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that really makes me happy. But the football, my God, is turgid. It's absolutely abhorrent, boy. I honestly, it makes me sick. Like, just generally, I can't stomach it anymore, man. I can't stomach it anymore. And it annoys me more when there are people like, oh, do you know what? I can really see what I could, like you said, the build up and brother, the football's not good, bro. You people never watch Prime Wenger ball if you're calling this good, bro. It's not good, man. There's no good about it.
No, but the people saying these things are all like 19-year-olds who, you know, who you know, they probably can't play football, but they watch a lot of football and then they become these tactical analysts on Twitter, and you know, because they can write well, you know, get creative with their blog posts. They think they understand football, but they probably never played football before. They probably don't understand anything. That's when I see them talking about these fucking build-up play and stuff. I'm like, mate, every fucking team does that in the Premier League. The clips that you're showing, fucking Burnley do that, mate. You know what I mean? Burnley pass it from side to side sometimes. Fuck off, man.
It's true, it's funny, but
fucking half space 9 FC or whatever. Fuck off. Tired of him, mate. Anyway, lads, before I say something that's going to get me really in trouble, I think
Oh, Lewis has killed me this episode, boy.
Yeah, let me come off this place before I fucking say something that make me get in big trouble, man. And I'll start issuing notes, apologies and that.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like.
Are you guys coming to the Christmas party tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
Touchdown Frackers Christmas party. Well, we can vent tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.
I hope they have some cocktails there, bro. But yeah,
no cocktails for you, man. Fuck's sake.
Purple rain for the pain.
Well, you're getting a Jack Daniels shot, and you're gonna love it. All right, no cocktails. Be a man. We got too many cocktail dons playing for us. That's why we're not fucking winning every week. Yeah, I do love a good porn star martini. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Take it easy.